Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
Hi, I'm Taylor Hicklen, general font freak, shitposting goblin, and it's my pleasure to be on Side Quests and talk to you about Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Before we really get into things, let me just go over my background with this series. I've been playing Tekken for decades at this point, starting with Tekken 3 on the PS1, then kind of hopping across consoles for, the next 20-ish years. Tekken 3 has a lot of fond memories for me. We lived on a farm growing up, and this was one of the few multiplayer games I could play with my brother. So sunk countless hours, hundreds of hours into Tekken 3 in its various modes. I'm so glad we grew up in the time before playtime counters, or else I would have to reevaluate a lot of things in my life. But aside from that, Tekken differs from a lot of fighting games in the fact that it is designed for controllers in some ways. It works with a 4-button system. And what this means is that each attack corresponds to directional inputs in one of the 4 buttons on a PlayStation or Xbox controller. The 2 upper buttons are punches, and the 2 lower buttons are kicks. And you execute all your moves by combos of directional inputs and the 4 face buttons. If you've ever tried to play Street Fighter with a traditional controller, you will easily see the limits of any fighting game system that uses more than 4 buttons. Not to say that they're bad. Quite the opposite, but Tekken felt designed for home play from the ground up in some ways. The other distinguishing fact about Tekken's battle system is that there is just a silly amount of different moves and combos you can do with each character. It can be a little intimidating at first. But yeah, they give you a big toy box to play with, and that's part of why I love the series. And I've been playing it for so long that, I don't know, when I sink into a Tekken match, I can kind of find a sense of grace that I am missing in my day-to-day life. Like, I am frequently very clumsy or generally just inelegant, but getting a good fighting game match in kind of helps me recalibrate. All right, so that's a big chunk of why I think Tekken itself is really important and why I was kind of shocked it hadn't been covered before. So why Tekken Tag Tournament 2 specifically? Well, if I'm going to do Tekken, I'm going to do the biggest and silliest Tekken there is. And the Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is it. It has an excess of characters, music, 2010s era video game aesthetics. It is extremely a product of its time in good ways and bad. But if you have played a Tekken game and you missed this one, or you haven't at all, this is honestly a pretty accessible place to start if you have an Xbox system. It's goofy in a way that mainline series are kind of steering away from now. And part of that is due to the fact that it's non-canonical. If you're not in the fighting game space, you might be unaware that a bunch of these big mainline series have ongoing storylines of varying complexity that they take more or less seriously to some degree, some more than others. So in some of these series, they have what are called dream matches, where they just kind of throw every character from past entries in, whether they have been removed or killed in the main storyline. And these are called dream matches. King of Fighters has done a lot of this. I think Guilty Gear has a few of these too, as well as Virtua Fighter. I don't know that Mortal Kombat has had many dream matches. But anyway, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, as the title implies, is the second of these quote-unquote dream matches in the Tekken series. So there are a lot of characters, both old and new, from old games and more recent ones, as of 2012. So no matter how good or bad you are at Tekken, you'll at least have a lot of toys to play with. And for my money, in a fighting game, that's what's important. I like having a lot of options at my disposal, whether I'm good at them or not. It's just comforting to have them and know that I could use them if I wanted to. But yeah, if you have an Xbox, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is completely backwards compatible there still. I actually have a disc copy on my desk right now. I can just stick it in my Xbox Series X, it installs, and the game plays like normal. Or you can order it digitally. As of this recording, which is August 24th, 2022, it is still available for purchase digitally on the Xbox storefront. So I would highly suggest picking it up. I know fighting games can seem intimidating and overcomplicated, but I love Tekken Tag Tournament 2 because it's not afraid to get silly with it. And that's something that I think more fighting game series should value outside of their like surface level aesthetic choices. Anyway, but yeah, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, it's good. And despite what John Warren says, it's probably better than Virtua Fighter in almost every way. If you're not after hyper precise, controlled fighting game action, Tekken is very much a series of campy, glorious excess. And that's why I love it. And I hope that's why you'll love it too. Anyway, I've been talking long enough. You can support me by hiring me for freelance work over at needmoney2.live. That's needmoneyto.live. I'm Taylor Hicklen, and happy gaming.
Hey there, Screen Beans. Have you heard about Screen Snark?
Rachel, this is an ad break. They aren't Screen Beans until they listen to the show.
Fine. Potential Screen Beans. You like movies and TV shows, right?
I mean, who doesn't? Screen Snark is a casual conversation about the movies and television shows that are shaping us as we live our everyday lives.
That's right, Matt. We have a chat with at least one incredible guest every episode, hailing from all walks. We've interviewed chefs,
writers, costumers, musicians,
yoga teachers, comedians, burlesque dancers,
folks in the film and TV industry,
and more.
We'd be delighted for you to join us every other Monday on the Certain POV Podcast Network.
Or wherever you get your podcasts, fresh and tasty off the presses.
What? That's not...
Can I call them Screen Beans now?
Fine.
Screen Beans!
So tune in and we'll see you at the movies or on a couch somewhere.
'Cause you're all Screen Beans now.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.